Hello, my name's Richard Murray. This is the Zidim channel, and here's my update for the week of December 10th. Well, it's been a long week. As mentioned before, Brenna moved out this week, so trying to rearrange things, figure out what's going to go where. Back to being a bachelor. Me, Max the dog, Gus the cat. Got it right this time. Aside from that, I have a shipment of resin coming from Poly for my Maya printer, and well, it was supposed to arrive back middle of November. November 15th, it got to customs in Calgary, and I've been trying to get a hold of human beings there since then. I've talked to 2 humans over that time. The second one was just on Friday, and when they took the resin bottles out of their holders, the labels came off, or they weren't there. They say they weren't there, but if you take a look at the bottles here, all my bottles, the labels aren't on all that well, and they are very tightly packed when they ship. Poly does a great job packing them securely, but since this was an unknown liquid coming from Asia, customs decided to send it to their lab for testing to figure out what it is, even though there's material sheets in there, what have you. But what's happening now? Well, it's gone to the lab, the entire shipment, so not just the ones that the labels peeled off, but everything, including another build plate, and it's sealed because they say it's automatically but under suspicion of being drugs. Joy. And if it passed the testing at the lab, I may have the materials sent to me within 2 to 8 months. I can't believe that. So I have over $400 tied up in that shipment. Can't do anything. And just for the icing on the cake with that, Mark tells me that Poly has discontinued their tough resin. They're reformulating it. They have one that has higher heat tolerances, but it's just going into testing. And so the bottle of tough, it's in that package, might be one of the last ones that got shipped out. So, you know, there's nothing I can do about it except complain and move on. Fortunately, I do have resin here and have things to look at and to print. What else is happening? Well, if we take a look at the close-up camera here, I have a whole bunch of things. Everything's knocked down. You know, the horses I've been working on and painting, the boy and his mule. I can't show you the detail very well. I get it up close here, and it's hard to get focus on it. It takes time, and you know, to show you things like the fact that the harness is a separate item. It is loose, and it printed so nicely. So what I've done is, well, with Brenna gone, she had one of my webcams. I'm putting that into the mix here. They'll make me give me 4 webcams to work with in this area. There we go. 4 cameras to work with. One will be directly overhead pointing down, so hopefully tomorrow I'll have that set up. I also have another camera. It's got to the post office late Friday. I couldn't pick it up then. I won't be out again until Tuesday, but that camera is a USB microscope, and I'll be able to show you the detail from the prints that you can get with this Moya. So that is exciting as well. Stay tuned. Things come together for the 500 plus contest, and I'll have that coming up this week, and I'll tell you who's donated what and what you have to do in order to win. So that is coming up as well. I will be broadcasting Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific with my live stream, probably back to doing some more painting, although we'll see. One of the things that's come up is Moya published an upgrade to the firmware. I've installed that, and with that there's a new leveling system, so I think I'll go over that on Wednesday as well, and see how that has turned out and what I did to do that leveling. As well as I ran into a hiccup with my horse series, and the first time I did this I just breezed through, said okay, I want to document it. Now I've plugged around, poked and everything, and figure out how I can do it, and now it's not working the way it did, but I'm getting there, although I've added a strange bump somehow off to the shanks of this poor horse here, but it looks rather dignified right there, I think, anyway. But anyways, trying to get that. I still have a bunch of stuff to move around in the house. I start a new job this week, self-employed, but have a new client, and I have to get ready for that in my den. So all sorts of Brenna stuff has to get put into a box so I can make room to spread some papers around. So yeah, new client starting this week, and then perhaps a second one following up. This isn't 3D printing, but it's something that can give me a regular paycheck. Not a lot of work each month, but a little bit of extra cash, so I can do things like buy resin. So that's on top. I am making parts out of this 3D printing, selling them off, but a little bit of extra income always comes in handy. So that's starting there, so I have to get back to that before I continue with my series on the horses. Yeah, when I look at this horse, this guy is looking good, I think, anyway. Where are we here? Look at that guy. I say look at that guy, but actually this is a female. It's a mare, slightly pregnant. So we'll be adding some texture to the mare in the next episode here. This week coming up, we do have a Friday night chat, F3DPCH. It's going to be hosted by Matt at How I Do It. Get that right. So that should be a good one. This is our last one before Christmas, and we're talking about what inspires us. So that's on the How I Do It channel at 10 p.m. Eastern Time is when that kicks in. I have no idea who else will be joining in. I know I'll be there, and I'm looking forward to that. I think we've covered everything. Max the dog is happily chewing away on his treat behind me, and Gus is in hiding somewhere, although I heard him thumping around at some point. So they're looked after. I got a bunch of work to do. Hopefully you're being safe out there, and I'll see you next time.